What's going on, y'all? So today is a video uh, geared more towards players thinking of returning to Blade and Soul, and more specifically, players that left before the Soul Boost system came out. So if you were a player that left after the Soul Boost system came out, you're probably not that interested in coming back unless you were just taking a break. But for me, I left before the Soul Boost system came out. So this is just my early impressions on how the game has changed in 2025. And yeah, so I just want you guys to know, first off, I am not one of these reviewers. I'm not one of these people that goes to every MMO they can find and try and reviews and play the game for only like 10 hours. I am a number. I'm a day one player for NA server, so I played for 4 years before I quit, and I played on the Chinese server before it came out to NA. So I've got some info on this game. I've got experience in this game. I know what worked and what didn't work, and what was making players leave. And so I'm just going to talk about some of the changes. And like I said, this is geared more towards people that left before the Sobu system. And I'm just going to give you a brief history about why I left as someone that played and was a hardcore player for this game. And I was a free-to-play player, and I was also a whale for this game. So we'll hop right into it. So for like the first 3 years of Blade and Soul, the game was pretty good. As a free-to-play player, you could have lots of fun in this game. But one of the major issues for this game was the grind. And yeah, every MMO has its grind, but the grind became super excessive in this game. I feel there was a lot of unnecessary items added just to add to the grind to make you want to pay for, to upgrade your stuff with a swipe of a credit card. And for an example, when the game first came out, it was all about just your weapon, just upgrading your weapon, and that was simple enough. That was any typical MMO. You had to grind for a while to gain some levels, but then once you get into the legendary weapons, is when the grind became even more excessive, to the point where it could take you anywhere as a free-to-play player, anywhere's like 3 to 4 weeks to save enough materials to upgrade your weapon just once. And then from there, you've got new accessories that were coming out. So then you were getting rings, and then you were getting earrings, and then necklaces. And those were also taking long to farm. And you basically needed these items here. So your soul stones, your moonstone crystals, these things here. And these things you could, if you were a free-to-play player and you were going off of dailies, it was limited. You also needed gold. And back in the day, before I left, you could probably make about 50 gold a day as a free-to-play player, and upgrades can cost thousands. And if you're trying to get items from the player shop, that costs thousands because everything was upscaled and priced from players. So it became harder and harder to play as a free-to-play player and keep up with the content. And I've mentioned this in other videos before. If you were a free-to-play player, you ended up, whenever new content came out, you wouldn't be able to play that new content for like the first 2 or 3 months because you weren't geared enough to do it, and all the whales were geared enough, so you couldn't join their party because you didn't have enough gear to do it, and they would kick you out unless you were friends with somebody that just happened to help you out. But 90% of the time, if you're joining, they're going to kick you out. So the grind became terrible. So I started the whale. And when I mean whale, I don't mean I spent like a couple $100. I spent a couple $1,000 on. I bought $4,000. Don't tell my wife. So I spent a lot of money on this game. So after that point, I was like, man, I'm spending too much money. I'm gonna go back to free to play. And then the nerfs happened. So then NCSoft nerfed the gold payouts for some of the dungeons. So that made it harder to get gold as a free to play player. Then they started adding more items to the player shop that you could just buy with your credit card to upgrade weapons. So they were gearing more towards pay to win. And when it comes to PvE, I don't really hate on pay to win because if someone on my team is a whale and spent thousands of dollars and got this top gear, they're on my team. So they're going to make dungeon runs easier. The only problem was the community was kind of toxic against low geared players, so they would kick you out. So it wasn't really a benefit to anybody but the people whaling. And then when it comes to PvP, that was just, you're done. You're getting one-shotted by players with better gear than you. So the grind just became too much, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break. So a week became 2 weeks, then 2 weeks became a month, then a month became, 4 months, and then before I knew it, a year went by, and then I said to myself, holy crap, I haven't played Blade and Soul in a year. And that means I'm a year behind in content. I'm never going to catch up as a free-to-play player like that, so I just let it go. I just walked away from it completely. And so about 5 years later, I said to myself, you know what, I really kind of miss Blade and Soul. I think I'm going to play the story for my channel, so I just plan on coming back for my channel. Didn't keep up with any Blade and Soul news at all, so I played the story, got to the end game, and finished the story, and I was like, I fell back in love with the game, and I didn't want to stop playing. So then I found out about the Soul Boost system. And this is where my impressions kick in. So this is what I think about all this. So if you were a player that left before Soul Boost, I feel your pain about wanting to come back, but you're not going to catch up. The grind was too much. Having to farm for this stuff here, dungeons over and over and over again. And then on top of that, the bosses. For dungeon runs, you needed certain items from bosses to upgrade your weapons, but they were RNG, and if it dropped, and if it was rare, and if it was a brand new item at the time, you weren't geared enough to do that dungeon, and then once you became geared enough to do that dungeon, you're not guaranteed the item, because once that item drops that everyone in the party wants, it becomes a bid war. So when you try to obtain that item, then it becomes an auction. So whoever puts up the most money gets that item, so you're not guaranteed that item. And if you got whales in your party, they're going to get it because they have more gold than you. So just the grind and hoping that you get the item that you need to pop up from a boss to begin with, and then hope that you can get it, just made it feel like it was impossible. It just felt impossible at the time. So to my surprise, they actually changed the system as far as I know. And it's sad to say it's too little too late because the population died, but this is so far a good system. So what the Soul Boost system is, for anyone that doesn't know, is they've kind of eliminated the grind. They eliminated the RNG in hopes that you get a weapon that you need. So when you do the story, they give you all of the items that you need to progress through the story to get to end game. And all the money I spent on my character when I left, those thousands of dollars in that gear that I grinded for, they basically give you all that in the story now. So when you finish the story, you'll have about 1,800 attack power. But that's when you start messing with the Soul Boost system. And what the Soul Boost system does, it alleviates all that grind. So what happens is, you have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and stage 5. And I believe it goes on. But all of these are just objectives. And these are, stage 1 are all these objectives you can do right off the bat with the gear that you have. And they're pretty simple at first. Some of them just require you to beat a few dungeons. Some of them require you to upgrade your weapons and equip it at a certain level. But here's the good thing about this Soul Boost system. And like I said, this is my early impression because I haven't finished with the Soul Boost system yet. But they give you every single thing that you need. So instead of being stuck at a certain gear, like let's say this weapon here, it's at stage 14. Let's say I want to go to stage 15. Back in the day, I would have to do dungeons over and over and over again. Hope that a boss drops the item that I need. Hope no one outbids me and takes it from me. And then I got to save up gold for weeks and weeks at a time, on top of having to do dungeons and small mini quests to farm for these materials and do those dungeons over and over again to get these materials. With the Soul Boost system, that's gone. All I had to do, I went from 1,800, and I've only been playing the end game now for about 3 days. I went from 1,800 attack power to almost 5,000 attack power. That's huge. So instead of grinding now, what you do is you do these objectives here, and they're pretty simple. Equip a stage 3 weapon or higher. Well, what happens is as you complete these objectives, you gain experience in this bar, and it doesn't take much to fill it up. Maybe 1 or 2 objectives will fill a bar sometimes. And then what happens is, once you go up a level, you can claim a reward from one of these bars here. And what comes with it is so let's say I did all these quests, and then right here it's saying to complete an objective is equipped stage 3 or higher ring, stage 3 or higher necklace. So they want you to have stage 3 of this weapon or accessory. Well, guess what? This here, this next line is going to give me all the material I need. So once I get all the materials, I upgrade it from the stuff it gave me. So guess what? Now I have all these unlocked for doing that. So even more rewards open up, so you're getting better gems. Back in the day, to get these gems, you had to farm and farm and farm for the materials. Then you had to transmute and upgrade them. You don't got to do that. They're just giving them to you as long as you do these objectives, and they're not hard. And each stage, like, get a little bit more difficult in dungeons, but it's the same with the weapon requirements. Just now I need to have level 6 of whatever they want me to equip. But they gave me materials. They gave me all the materials I need. I don't have to go out and farm for days and days and days. I've been playing for 3 days. I'm already at stage 3 in my soul boost quests. And I didn't have to do these for hours. I did these for like maybe, I've been playing for like 3 hours a day. And I can already do some of the super high content dungeons already. So far they've fixed the grind. I don't know how far. So once I complete this, I don't know from that point, is it up to me to finish, or are they going to give me all of the items that I need throughout the entire game? Like, do I have to, once I complete this, because you can see I still got quite a bit to go. Where we at here? So see, I still got to collect all these. And they're just giving you more and more material. And they're giving you like these here. Look at that. I have 7,000 soulstone crystals. I've got 600 of these, 200 of these, 9,000 of these. They're giving you these. I didn't farm for these. They just gave them to me as rewards for doing these soul boosts. And then when you need to upgrade your materials, they give you tokens that let you upgrade your materials for free. Now, like I said, I don't know how far into the end game this is going to give me. Like, is it going to give me everything I ever need? I don't know. But as of right now, because my deterrent for wanting to come back was, God, I'm going to have to grind. I'm never going to catch up. I'm 5 years behind in content. No, they're giving you all of this stuff, and it's going to bring you up to end game content while enjoying the game at that. So my early impression so far is it's great. I'm having a ball. I never thought I'd be back to Blade and Soul. I was Hung Moon 20 when I left. They even give you that. They give you charms to upgrade to Hung Moons. I'm at Hung Moon 30 now. If you were just to grind out dungeons, that could take you months to get to Hung Moon 30 from 20. But they're just hooking you up with stuff. So it looks like they're alleviating some of the grind so far. Now, like I said, once I complete this, once I get to the last tier, I don't know, does that mean I have to start farming again? But if I do, I'm already almost back up to the top. So I'm kind of starting off where I left, but I'm on a level playing field, if you kind of understand what I mean. So I wish they did this further back in the past. Hopefully they go with this kind of system in Blade and Soul Neo. But if you're a returning player, or you're thinking about returning, give it a try. You don't have to grind right now. These objectives are not super hard. Some of these dungeons will be difficult on your own, but you don't have to. Go in your faction chat, go in world chat, ask somebody to help you. I had somebody jump in right away. I couldn't do these dungeons on my own at first, so I said, can somebody help me with this? Within like 30 seconds, I had one guy in my party, and he ran me through all my objectives for my quests. Once you do your first, because usually each stage is complete 3 quests, these 3 quests. And once you do that, you pretty much open up the rest of your soul boost, because the first 3 quests give you enough experience to gain like 3 or 4 of these rows, and they give you all the materials, and then the rest of the soul boost stages upgrade your materials, and they just gave you all the materials to upgrade. So once you upgrade them, then you open up even more soul boost rewards, and they're just upgrading your materials over and over again. So I'm having a ball as a returning player, as somebody that was a free-to-play player, and as someone that was a whale. And had issues with some of the grind. It looks like it's been alleviated for now. Um, like I said, I haven't completed the Soul Boost system, so I don't know how bad the grind is going to be afterwards. But for now, I'm having a blast playing the new content, and they've changed the dungeon system too. So they have easy mode, hard mode, and the harder mode. I can't remember what it's called. So easy mode, you can go in easy mode, and you and two other players can blow through it. So you don't have to do the hardest dungeons have different difficulties now. So you can run through the easy one, so you can always complete the quest that they want you to do. As long as you've got another person, it shouldn't be hard to do. And then the rest is just upgrading. I literally spent like an hour to 2 hours just upgrading stuff because they give you so much materials and they give you all the accessories. And I just literally sat here for like an hour just upgrading stuff, having the ball, watching my attack power go up, watching my damage go up. I went from hitting at 1800 attack power, I went from hitting like 3 and 400,000 average damage to I'm hitting 20 millions. I'm having a blast going back to all those dungeon raids that I couldn't do as a lower tier player back in the day, and being able to just run through them by myself now. Like literally bosses that took 24 people to do, like 20, 30 minutes to beat. You're so powerful now that you can do it by yourself in minutes. It's pretty fun. It's just cool to go back to those spots and reminisce and just go back and kick ass in some of the dungeons that used to kick your ass, but then still be able to do the new content that's coming out. Because that was my issue. One of my issues was whenever new content come out, you didn't get to see it for a couple months because you weren't geared enough. Well, this is walking you through every step of the way. Every step of the way, it's giving you items to be able to do the next hardest dungeon. Because what would be the issue was, back in the day, if the newest content came out and you needed materials from that new content, you couldn't do it because you weren't geared to do it. It was almost like an oxymoron. You couldn't do it. You needed those materials to do those dungeons, but you weren't strong enough to do those dungeons. So they gotten rid of that. And it doesn't seem like you have to do that anymore. You just have to do what they ask, and it's not hard. It's not hard. These dungeons aren't hard. There's so many high-geared players now that you just need to ask someone for help, and they'll come help you, and you'll fly through this. Like I said, I'm at 5,000 attack power pretty much. I've seen players with 9,000 attack power. So I'm kind of guessing maybe Soul Boost will walk you up to maybe like 7,000, 8,000 attack power, like in progression gear, and then you have to farm the rest of the way. Because obviously they're going to make you do some work, but it looks like they alleviated a lot of the grind. And as someone that didn't want to put up with the grind, I'm having a ball so far. Just with all of this stuff, man, it's fun. I'm back to playing Blade and Soul. I'm enjoying my time so far. And like I said, this is my early impression. I'll make another video further down the line of the Soul Boost to see how hard the game's getting, or if I feel like I have to start grinding more again, or if they're edging me to try and spend more money. Because it looks like they changed some of their monetization too, because now you can just straight up buy outfits now. So it looks like they're trying to get away from the pay to win. The only thing is the population's it's just too little too late, man. If they would have done this sooner, man, this game would probably still be thriving to this day. So this looks promising. So now this makes me feel even higher hopes for Blade and Soul Neo. Other than that, guys, like I said, I didn't want this video to be too long. It's just my early impressions of this system, and as a player coming back to the game. It's just I was worried about the grind. That's why I didn't come back. I wish I had learned about this Soul Boost system sooner, because I think this came out in 2022. And had I known about this, I would have been playing Blade and Soul a long time ago. So if you're a player that left before this Soul Boost system came out, and one of your issues was you weren't ready for the grind, you can start a new character. They give you a level 60 voucher that starts you at end game, and you can start right away. I played the game because I just want the story, and then I found out about this. So give it a try. It's a good way to get back into Blade and Soul, and then it looks like it gives you more time because you're not spending so much more time grinding. you can try other classes now, which I'm about to start doing other classes again because I never really got into any other classes other than Force Master. Um, so yeah, this is my only impression so far. The Return to Blade and Soul has been good. The experience has been great. I haven't really run into no downfalls other than just the population is kind of small right now. It's not like it used to be. So looking for dungeons can sometimes be hard in the look for dungeon party. But if you go in the world chat and just ask somebody to help you, people are jumping at you to help. So the community seems like it's gotten a little better too. But other than that, guys, yeah, give this a try. It's so far so good, and it can't hurt. It's free to play, so hopefully that helps. And I will say this: they give you lots of inventory expansion too. So don't worry about all this. This is a mess because they've thrown so much materials at me. I haven't had time to put anything away. Like, see, like look at all this materials. I ran out of this, but once I get to the next soul boost level, it's going to give me thousands of these again. It's going to give me enough to upgrade it as far as they want me to. So they're walking you through this, which is nice. And look, it costs nothing to upgrade. But back in the day, look at this, 1,000 gold to upgrade if you use regular materials from farming like back in the day. But now, the Soul Boost system's giving you everything. You don't have to farm for these anymore. You just got to complete your dungeons and then complete the dungeons they want you to for that specific stage. They'll give you a bunch of materials to upgrade your weapons. And on top of that, the rest of the Soul Boost stage requirements, objectives, is just to upgrade your weapons. And they're giving you the materials for that. So then they'll give you more materials and make your character even more stronger. So give it a try, guys. And hopefully this brings back a couple players that were, concerned about how, the grind was so bad and how the pay to win was so bad. Because it doesn't seem like it's so far that the pay to win is as bad as it is now. Because they're just giving you everything you need. So, like I said, as a free-to-play player, someone that's played this game for a really long time, I'm having a ball with this game again. And hopefully this encourages some people to return. And if you're a new player, hey, try it out. Like I said, it's free-to-play, can't hurt. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. I talked long enough. And I'll update you guys when I'm further down the Soul Boost line to see if it felt like it's starting to slow down or if it's starting to feel more grindy. And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Peace.